Hello. It's been a while. How are you? I hope you are doing good. Hope you're well. I hope you woke up at least smiling this morning. If you can tell by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about something important because it's something that's brought up over and over and over and over and over and over and over again as proof of pregnancy of years. So the I haven't had sex in years proves pregnancy of years, cryptic pregnancy. We'll also be talking about, can a woman get pregnant without having sex? Can a woman get pregnant without having sex? Is that possible? And we will also be covering in today's video the tragic facts of some human trafficking and sex trafficking things. So let's dive right in. You see, many women in the cryptic pregnancy community state they have been pregnant for X amount of years because they say they have abstained from sex for X amount of time. And this seems like a legitimate way of dating a pregnancy in theory. However, in retrospect, every person's definition of sex is completely different, because of various cultural and religious expectations in the mix, like chastity pledges and lack of sexual education, as well as varying definitions of what sex actually means, as well as moral issues, premarital sex, infidelity, same-sex attraction, sexual orientation, sexual desires, sexual abuse, and media influences such as movies and TV, and many, many other issues that impact a person's mental understanding of a physical, emotional, and spiritual activity that in this world goes beyond procreation. So all of these cultural and religious expectations are huge factors to take into account when speaking about abstinence being undeniable proof of a pregnancy of years. So let's ask some very important questions. Can a woman get pregnant without having sex? Yes. The simple answer is yes. While it is unlikely, any activity that introduces sperm to the vaginal area makes pregnancy possible without penetration. Even before a male fully ejaculates, he may produce sperm in pre-ejaculate, pre-cum fluid. To give you some numbers, 1 milliliter of ejaculate contains between 15 to 20 million sperm. And a recent study, trusted source, shows that 16.7% of men have active sperm in their pre-ejaculate as well. Specific counts vary per ejaculate and by individual person, but you get the idea. That's a lot of swimmers. And to get pregnant, it only takes one. So if ejaculate or pre-ejaculate come into contact with the vaginal area, though chances are small, it is possible pregnancy may occur. Keep in mind that these fluids can be transferred to the area via toys, fingers, and mouths, not just penises. Can you prove that you are a virgin or haven't had sexual contact? The simple answer is no. There is no way for any person to undeniably prove that they have abstained from sexual intercourse or from sexual contact for any specific time frame. Even a virgin cannot physically prove that he or she hasn't had sex. Any female, the hymen is not the end-all, be-all in telling virginity. It is medically recorded that the hymen can break by many physical activities not sexually related, such as horseback riding and or gymnastics. So virginity or keeping your virginity is a moral issue. If you say you are a virgin, we are just to believe you morally, as it is not physically possible or able to be proven. You cannot physically prove that you are or are not a virgin. As doctors and scientists will tell you, there is no test or exam that can reliably and accurately determine a girl or a woman has had sex, and consequently assess whether or not she is a virgin. The idea of such a test, in my personal opinion, is barbaric. So there have been said, like the virginity test, there have been parents that have asked doctors to perform this test, and there is absolutely no information that supports the validity of such a virgin test. Many doctors and scientists will tell you that there is no kind of test or exam that can reliably or accurately determine whether a girl or a woman has had sex, period. And consequently, they cannot assess whether or not she is a virgin. So the next thing we will be talking about is not necessarily a question, but a fact. It has been reported, and I will put here, trigger warning, listen at your own discretion, viewer discretion is advised. What I will be saying next is not very great information, but it is true. So it's been reported in many different countries that girls and women who have unfortunately been trafficked and sold for sex have been given a cosmetic surgery to make them a virgin again. So the surgeon resews the opening of the vagina, which reportedly, so that the sex trafficker can then resell the girl or woman as a virgin who reportedly receives top dollar because virgins are a high commodity. So they will take the same girl and they will sell her as a virgin, and then she'll lose her virginity, and then they will take that girl back and resew her and then resell her as a virgin, and then do this over and over and over again. So she'll receive the surgery, and after she's healed, they'll resell her, and then when they receive her back, she'll receive the surgery, and when she's healed, they'll resell her. And this can be done over and over and over and over again. I've read it's been reported to have happened to one girl at least 27 times. And I try to find that article to link in the description box, but I can't find it. If I find it, I will link it. So I'm going to continue searching for that information. It's just very unfortunate information, and when I found it, it's important information, but it's also not something you like to think about happening to a young girl out there. It really breaks my heart. So yeah. And so, yes, so these people will resell these girls as virgins over and over and over again because they receive more money if the girl is reportedly a virgin. And this surgery basically guarantees that the man will be satisfied because the surgery is done. There is basically, and I hate to say this out loud, but there's guaranteed some bleeding. So the man feels like he did actually penetrate a virgin. I had to actually use those words. Okay. And so, like I said, virgins are a high commodity in this sick, disgusting, evil world of people who blend right into society because unfortunately evil doesn't have a uniform. You're not forced to like wear something that says, oh, that guy's bad. So they just blend right into society. Does the surgery actually make that girl a virgin again? No. As the surgery does not, the tightness or lack of tightness of the vagina does not undeniably mean lack of sexual contact, as well as lack of hymen. So not having a hymen, or a hymen not being broken during the girl's first sexual intercourse, or the girl or the woman like not losing the hymen does not mean that she wasn't a virgin. So losing the hymen due to sexual penetration does or does not say whether or not a girl is a virgin. As said before, the hymen can break from everyday physical activities. So, can abstinence from sex prove you have been pregnant for years? The real answer is no. Myths in the cryptic pregnancy community are, and there's 3 that I see a lot, is that announcing that you haven't had sex proves you've been pregnant for years. So a lot of the women in the community will say that I haven't had sex for X amount of time, like stating that you are so many years pregnant, and the reason you know this is because you haven't had sex for X amount of time. So I'm 4 years pregnant, and the reason why I know this is because I haven't had sex for 4 years. This is literally what they say in order to prove that they've been pregnant for years. And they say that lack of sexual activity proves pregnancy of years. So them stating this somehow proves that they are currently pregnant. Saying I know I am pregnant because I haven't had sex in X amount of years does not in any way prove you are actually pregnant, let alone for the amount of time you claim, which is years. Saying it has to be the same pregnancy because you haven't had sex for 4 years. This is just an example. 4 years does not prove that you are pregnant, were pregnant, or at any time pregnant with a viable pregnancy. If you want to have a baby, if you desire to have another child, if you're hoping to get pregnant with 1 baby or miracle twins, if you're praying for your rainbow baby or your first child, if you want another member or to add another member and add another baby to your family, abstaining from sex for any period of time is the worst thing you could possibly do to make that happen. If you are fertile, you not having sex is making yourself infertile. No sex equals no chance of conception, which equals no miracle baby. So I will leave you with these thoughts. If proving extended gestation or proving pregnancy of years is more important than having a real life living baby, then by all means, continue abstaining from sex, even though ultimately it proves nothing for pregnancy of years. Your personal dedication to refraining from sexual contact has no practical evidence to proving pregnancy of years. This is the truth. If you believe you are pregnant for years or have been pregnant for years, you aren't going to win a trophy for not having sex. You aren't winning the imaginary battle by not having sex. In fact, you are actually self-sabotaging any chances of ever having a baby. Day by day, your chances of actually conceiving go down because it only takes 1 sperm to get pregnant, but no sperm equals no possibility of pregnancy. No pregnancy equals no baby. So is proving you are currently pregnant without proof, such as ultrasound pictures, more important than having a real baby? Is it more important than your relationship with your significant other? Because that's gotta be suffering. If you are married and you are not having sex and you haven't had sex for how many years, it has to be hurting the relationship with your partner. So is proving pregnancy of years more important than your relationship with your significant other? Is proving pregnancy of years more important than your mental health? Is proving a pregnancy of years with no proof more important than your family's well-being? Again, a person or individual personally deciding to not have sex does not mean they are pregnant with the same pregnancy consecutively for years. Again, there is no test or exam that can reliably and accurately determine whether a girl or a woman has or hasn't had sex at any time during any time frame. Also, complete sexual abstinence is the only guarantee to not get pregnant. So if that is your goal, if you don't want to get pregnant, if you don't want to be pregnant, abstinence is the right choice. However, if you are wanting a baby or you want to be pregnant, abstinence is not a good idea, regardless if you think you could already be pregnant, because abstinence doesn't in any way prove that you are currently pregnant. Abstinence does not prove pregnancy. Not having sex or saying you haven't had sex does not prove you are pregnant, and it doesn't prove you have been pregnant for years and years. Saying that you haven't had sex for years and years does not prove that you've been pregnant for years and years. I hope you learned something from this. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please comment them below. All right. Bye.